Tobi Page. She's a registered dietitian who describes herself as an anti-diet dietitian. I love that. After 14 years of working with men and women struggling to lose weight, she knows sustainable weight loss has nothing to do with starvation and willpower and everything to do with how your body works. So in the next 10 minutes, Tobi will show you a better way that helps you get off the diet roller coaster and lose the weight for good. Welcome, Tobi.
Thank you so much, Bree, and thank you everyone for coming today. I am so excited to be the first speaker of the first Entrepreneur Summit of Team Alex on the Great Discovery. So I have a lot to say, so I'm going to get right down to it. Raise your hand if you or someone you know has ever tried a weight loss diet. If your hand is not up, you might not be from this planet, right? You know that restrictive diets are stressful and overwhelming. The food rules, the hunger, the guilt, it's all so stressful and overwhelming. And this is why they don't work. But worse than that, weight cycling and yo-yo dieting can have lasting effects on one's body and mind. I'm Tobi Page. I'm a registered dietitian. I do identify as an anti-diet dietitian. I have been in practice for 14 years, and what I know is that sustainable weight loss has nothing to do with willpower and starvation, and it has everything to do with how our bodies work. So just some quick data points to consider that 80 to 95% of individuals regain weight after a weight loss program. It's not very good stats. So for a dietitian in 2025, I need to do something different, right? So this is what we see as a typical weight loss pattern. Now, this is not for individual weight loss patterns. Usually things look very different. There's maintenance, it depends on how much was lost and how it was lost. So, but over time, what we see in the research is that if a person loses weight, let's say 10% of their body weight, they're going to regain the weight, about a third of it within the first year. By the second year, we see that people regain about 2/3 of the weight loss and returning to baseline by year 3. So again, this is just over time, the typical. Now, let's say they try again. And now it is harder this time. It's harder to lose weight after you've been on a weight loss diet. There's good reasons for that. And we're going to talk about those in just a second. But one could be it's a more difficult program, or maybe it's what your body went through for the last 3 years. Now your metabolism is different. It's harder. Whatever the reason is it's harder to lose the weight. And so then the weight gain cycle begins. So we have weight gain, and now we might even be above our baseline after year 5. If we step back even more and take a look at this on a 15-year, now, obviously, this is going to be no person's actual journey. It's not going to be so perfectly linear, right? But again, over a 15-year span of time of yo-yo dieting, we end up seeing people's weight higher than they started. Why? Well, because biology, we know that the hungry hormones increase when we lose weight and the I'm full hormones decrease. So what the heck is that? It's like we're hungrier than we were before, and it takes more food to satisfy us after a weight loss diet like that. We also need to make sure we're addressing the thoughts and emotions related to eating, because if we don't change that, well, then that's when we return to old patterns and we go back. If you think about it, the problem with all these diets is the idea of sticking with it. So it's not about willpower. This is what people get mixed up. It's not about willpower to stick with it. And it's not about calories. It's about patterns. And it's the diets that have been tried that are wrong. It's 2025 and it's time for something better. We need to be teaching people to be more aware of their body, not more aware of diet rules. We know that most people know healthy food from not so healthy food, but we need to be teaching people how food works in their body to manage their hunger and fullness. And we need to prioritize our body's needs above how we look, above the meetings that we have to go to, and above, well, I just want it right now. So we need to focus on our body's needs. So this is how I do it in my practice. I call this the awareness balance rhythm triangle. And we're going to go quick. Awareness is being aware of your body and your surroundings. Okay, so that is your work schedules and what your coworkers are doing, right? That affects how we eat. Next is balance. We achieve balance by including some carbs, plenty of fiber, and enough fat and protein in your meals and snacks. If you can describe your plate like that, you're probably doing pretty good. Next is rhythm. Rhythm is when you have consistency in your eating, your sleep patterns, and your exercise patterns. Our bodies love consistency. Without awareness, you're relying on outside food rules. This is what it's like to be on a diet. If you're not paying attention to yourself, then you need to know from someone else how much to eat, when should I eat, right? Those kind of things. But if you pay attention to your body, we can ditch the diets. Without balance, meals don't leave you feeling satisfied until you've eaten too much. So the hallmark is pizza. If you just keep on eating pizza, it's easy to eat it then, but excuse me, it's not balanced. And so we tend to eat more pizza than we actually needed. It's not balanced. And without rhythm, even balanced meals won't satisfy. Everybody knows this. If you're super duper hungry, I don't care what you give me. I'm going to eat it fast, and I'm probably going to eat more than I actually needed. So I'm going to give you some tips on how to improve your awareness, balance, and rhythm. Try rating your hunger from 0 to 10 before you eat, and rating your fullness after you eat. And that will give you some really good insight into where you're at. Include some carbs, plenty of fiber, and enough fat in your meals, fat and protein in your meals and snacks. So you might not have great ideas of what those portions look like or what those numbers look like, but I bet if you can honestly describe your plate like that, you're probably close. So then a tip for improving your rhythm is eat when you're hungry. Don't say, I'll eat after this. We're going to eat before that so that we don't end up too hungry. All right. So the problem isn't willpower, it's the approach. And when you stop chasing food rules and trusting your body, you eat better, you feel better, and you can finally lose weight without white knuckling it. You don't need another program, another diet. You need a new framework that makes sense and sticks. So I've put together the most important information I teach to just about everyone into a course here on the Great Discovery. It's called the Sustainable Slim Down Project. It's a 35-day bite-sized lesson transformation in short videos with all the tools and PDFs that I use. Plus, if you sign up, you get a private one-on-one with me so that we can talk about your situation and find something that works for you. We spend week 1 strengthening your awareness. Weeks 2 and 3 will balance your meals with carbs, fiber, fat, and protein. Week 4, we're going to focus on finding your rhythm. And week 5, we'll put it all into action. The Sustainable Slim Down Project is available now on The Great Discovery. Thank you so much for your attention. I'm happy to answer any questions.